Hi everyone, I'm Cliff Elgin and this is Sports Insight. Many 7th and 8th graders, 12 and 13-year-olds, are passionate about team sports. This passion carries over into the schools, creating school spirit and school pride. That's why the MCPS Middle School Athletics program is extremely popular with students. The program features 7 teams for boys and girls in 4 different sports, and approximately 5,000 students participate each year. Middle school sports offer students a higher level of competition where they can build their athletic skills. The program also promotes academic excellence, fosters sportsmanship and citizenship, and gives students another avenue to build social contacts with their peers.
If you're at the plate, think aggressive.
Montgomery County Public Schools offers team sports for middle school students starting in the 7th grade.
In the fall, we have girls and boys softball and co-ed cross country. And then in the winter, we have boys and girls basketball. And then in the spring, boys and girls soccer. And really the point is to get students involved in the school. It's really kind of a warm-up almost for varsity athletics.
The goal would be to come out, have fun, enjoy your time here, develop some social relationships, improve your athletic skills, and hopefully you find something that you like that you can carry on into high school.
For many middle school students, like the entire girls softball team from the new Hallie Wells Middle School in Clarksburg, the practices and games are their first experience as a member of an athletic team.
Make sure you keep that glove out in front of you.
Good things about it is that we get to learn some more teamwork skills, like how to tell each other to move around and say, I got the ball and stuff like that.
It's our first game and we're still learning and growing, so I think that we're just going to work harder every time and we're going to get better as a team.
This is something that I wish I got to experience in middle school. I played softball myself for years, but at such a young age, they're learning teamwork with their classmates, which I think is really awesome. Something that they're learning skills, how to work with others that they can carry throughout their life.
Raise your hand if you are new to cross country.
It's a short season compared to the high school sports. In the fall, each middle school is scheduled for just 5 co-ed cross-country meets and 5 softball games for the girls and boys teams. But new experiences abound. For some students, it may be their first experience working with a coach. Other students learn new ways to have fun while exercising.
We actually have taken the kids out to work on some other types of cardiovascular endurance type activities. So they've had a good variety of things in a short period of time, and they're all eager to try something new and have fun as a unit.
What I like about this is really just that it's a lot of fun. It's not really all that serious as I think high school and college would be. Like, you really get to bond with a lot of people on your team. It's pretty much like you get like a whole other family.
I think for any kid it's good to learn endurance and the importance of health and staying fit, and I think it's also important to learn perseverance. They're not always going to have good days, and so it's good to learn what that feels like and how to pick yourself up and go on.
Good things happen when you swing the bat. They execute on defense, they put the ball in play. It's that simple, guys.
You get to play with people you know. You get more exposed to your coaches, you get more exposed with your players, you make a lot of friendships, and it's really positive.
Good job, good job.
And our guests today are 2 MCPS student athletes who are currently running cross country for their schools. First, let's welcome Avery Jackson. Avery is a 9th grade student at Clarksburg High School, go Coyotes, and a member of the Coyotes cross country team. Avery started running cross country 2 years ago in middle school. She's an avid swimmer and she plans to join the Coyotes swim team in the winter sports season. Avery is really interested in interior design, and she is also the vice president of her 9th grade class council. Welcome to Sports Insight, Avery.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Good. And next, our second guest is Jay Doshi, an 8th grade student at Rocky Hill Middle School. Jay is on the Wildcat cross country team, and he also plays lacrosse, basketball, and soccer. Jay studies music and plays the tabla, a drum used in traditional music of India and Pakistan. He also loves to draw, and one of his favorite subjects is portraits of sports figures. Jay, welcome to Sports Insight.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so I'm glad to have both of you here. I've got one current Coyote and hopefully one future Coyote coming to Clarksburg next year. And we're going to look at the middle school athletic program. And Jay, I want to start with you first. I think everybody knows the high school athletic programs, it's a daily commitment, 5 or 6 days a week. But let's talk a little bit about the breakdown of the middle school. how often are you guys practicing for cross country?
We practice for an hour and 30 minutes after school on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Okay, and then obviously you gear towards meets, so how often are you having meets and how are the meets structured? What are you looking at?
We have a meet usually every week, and we walk the course with the other teams, and then we run 1.5 miles.
So 1.5 miles. All right, so now let's bring you in, Avery. So you ran the middle school cross country and did the 1.5 miles. Then you transitioned to high school and you're going to run longer distances, at least 3 miles up to 5K. Was that a difficult transition, or do you feel like the middle school kind of helped you prepare for that distance?
It definitely helped me prepare, but it's really tough to run that far. You have to put a lot of training in, and again, practice every day is tough, but it really helps you be ready for the meets.
Okay, and now Jay, I want to go back to you because obviously you grew up playing sports through the youth levels and maybe some club teams. But what was it like the first time you get to put on a Rocky Hill jersey and run for your school, which is something you probably haven't done before?
It felt great because I knew that I'd be running with with people from my school and just my friends.
And then do you get some recognition in the hallways so people know, hey, you're on the soccer team or you're on the cross-country team? That's got to be kind of a nice feeling to walk through the hallways and see that.
Yeah, we get to wear our jerseys in the day before our meets.
Awesome. And so now, Avery, I want to talk a little about the transition again, going from the middle school athletics to the high school athletics. We talked a little bit about this before. The fall sports, you start your practices 2 weeks before you actually come into high school for the first time for classes. How did that help you with the transition, being a member of a sports team coming into 9th grade?
It was really helpful because I was able to meet a lot of people from all the grades at high school, and it really helped me prepare to enter school. It also made me really comfortable because I already knew some people going into it, so it was really awesome.
Yeah, you kind of walk in the hallways in high school is no big deal. You've already got a set of friends, right?
Yeah.
All right, so Jay, let's go back to middle school athletics again. And cross country is a sport both at the middle school and the high school level. Pretty much if you want to come out for the team, they're going to keep you, you're going to play. But you're also playing soccer for Rocky Hill, and that involved tryouts and cuts, and kind of explain that process and the pride you felt in making that team.
That felt better for me because there was a lot of people that tried out and there was a lot of cuts.
And so the making the team is kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah.
All right, so Avery, let's get back to you with the high school and the coaches. Because I know Coach Burke, because I've taught with him now for 11 years, and he's the cross-country coach, and I'm biased. I think he's one of the best coaches in the county, period. But he also came down and helped out with the middle schools while you were running middle school and kind of got to know you guys even before you got to Clarksburg, correct?
Yeah.
And so does that make it easier for you, kind of already saying, you may not know him, but at least you recognize his face? How does that help you?
Yeah, I think that that's really awesome. The fact that the high schoolers come down and watch the middle school meets is really awesome because then the middle schoolers can see those people and they can start to realize maybe that's something I'd want to do, and it's really cool.
Now, have you had that same experience, Jay, having them come down and watching? Even, I don't know if they did with soccer. I'm assuming cross country has also done it so far.
Yeah, we see them when we're running in our meets and sometimes practices.
Now, with the middle school, I think it's also the first time you guys have sort of a number. So you have different elementary schools that combine together to go to Rocky Hill. And so you're also running and playing soccer with guys you didn't necessarily go to elementary school. So was that a little different? Was that something you liked, kind of the blending of different people from different schools?
Yeah, it was more fun because you get to meet new people and make more friends.
And then you're also going to go up to high school, and it's not going to be just Rocky Hill. You're going to have kids coming over from other middle schools, correct, Avery?
Yeah, there's so many people at Clarksburg especially.
Yeah, we do have a lot of people over at Clarksburg. Now, Jay, explain to it what it's like to compete against other middle schools, because you want to go out and you want to beat Baker Middle School, or you want to beat Neilsville Middle School. Explain sort of that competitive edge that you start to develop.
It's fun because sometimes you know other people that go to those schools and you get to compete with them and you just want to win.
Yeah, that's why we're in athletics, right? So now, Avery, let's talk about it from a bigger perspective, okay? So you've gotten involved in the athletics. You jumped in, and you also have become a member of your class council as a vice president. Would you say the athletics kind of helped give you some of the confidence to try some of those other things?
Yeah, I think being, successful and just starting out with the high school cross country level really helped me realize that, I can be really involved and do a lot of high school activities, and it's just a lot of fun to try different things and see what I like.
Would you say the athletics has helped you with the time management piece? Because you are juggling a lot. You've got one AP class as a 9th grader. You've got class council, you've got the athletics. Explain to our audience how that sort of helped out with the time management aspect of your life.
It's just forced me to like make a very like specific routine for after school, because I always get home at 5 and then I have to, get my homework done, and that's something that is really hard, especially with sports every day, because in middle school I know I would only have it 3 days a week, so it would only be those 3 days I'd have to prioritize my time. But having it every day and then meets on the weekend, it's a lot more going on, but it's really helped me realize like my time management and get organized.
Now, Jay, is that something you've noticed now with your year and a half of doing the middle school athletics, your time management?
Yeah, I've had to manage my time a lot more compared to 6th grade.
Yeah, and that's something we didn't mention was in 6th grade you don't really have the middle school athletics, but it's really the 7th and 8th graders that get involved in the athletics, correct?
Yeah.
Well, we hope that you, this is only, how would I say, lit a fire in you to continue this at the high school level. Would you say so far?
Yeah, I like the training, and it feels good running cross country.
Good. And Avery, would you have done anything different with the middle school athletics, or do you think it really helped you prepare for getting ready for that transition to high school?
I wouldn't have changed being part of the cross country team. I think it's just a lot of fun. It's the first chance you really have to be involved with your school and like represent your school. It was in like 7th grade. So I think that's really awesome and cool.
Well, great. And I think that's a great place to end our discussion today. I want to thank you, Jay, for joining us. I hope you enjoy the rest of your school year in 8th grade at Rocky Hill. We hope you also have a fun time playing with the Rocky Hill soccer team in the spring. And Avery, thank you for joining us as we look forward to seeing you in the pool for the Coyotes this winter sports season as well. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Cliff Elgin, and I'll see you on the next episode of Sports Insight.